Hello friends, today in this tutorial I will basically build out a very simple weather app which will allow you to find out a weather of a particular city in the world. For this purpose we have used Tailwind CSS to create actually the interface of this application, and we are using the OpenWeather API to actually get the weather of any city in the world. So if I enter any city name, let's suppose I say Wellington, which is a city in New Zealand. So if I click on the button get weather, so you will see it will tell me the exact temperature, which is 18 degrees Celsius, and the weather is broken clouds. Now let me type another city name. Let's suppose Texas. So you will see 19 degrees Celsius, clear sky. You can even cross check Texas current weather by Google. So yeah, around about 21. And let's suppose Delhi. You can see 8 degrees Celsius, and if I put this value here, Delhi, you will now see exactly 10 degree. Weather is missed here, so you can see roundabout. So the API we are using is Open Weather Map API. It's a very famous API for weather applications. So you may have call 1,000 API calls per day for free. Then they have certain plans out there. So once you sign up, you will basically get your own API key as well. Simply sign up for there and just get your API key as well. So mine is already present. So first of all, we are also using Tailwind CSS. I've already included the CDN. Now I will simply make the interface and write the JavaScript code here. So let me delete that. Let me paste it here and then show you. Let me write basically the JavaScript code in a different file so that let me make a script tag here. So let me create a script.js file. So if I refresh here, nothing will be there. Now we need to create the interface here. So in the interface, we will actually have a div which will have a class of bg white and padding 8, and it will be rounded, shadow medium, and width will be 96. And let me give it a h1 here, which will be weather app. Text to Excel, font bold MP4. So if you see, basically we will have this right here, weather app in the center, and after the heading we will actually have, so these are all Tailwind classes, guys. It's a UI framework for building interfaces. Here we will have an input field where the user will enter the city, and we will have a Tailwind class of w full, width will be full, and then padding 2, and the border we will give it a of gray color of 300 shade, and it will be rounded. So you will basically see this will be the input field out there. After that, we also need to have a button where the user can submit the form. So after this, we will have a button. So the button will be having a class of btn bg blue 500, and we will be giving a pseudo class as well to it. Whenever we hover onto this button, the button shade will be changing. So text will be white on the button, width will be full, and it will say get weather. So if you refresh, your button will be looking something like this, and We can even give some padding to it as well. So let me say P3. So padding will also be given. You can see now it is looking quite good as well. So you can control the padding by P, margin by M. So like this. So we can bind a on-click listener to this button. So when we click this button, we will execute this function, which is get weather. So I have binded this right now. And after this button, we will actually have a div section where we will actually show the weather. So this will we will give an ID to it of weather result, and we give it a class of margin top 4. That's all. So now inside the JavaScript code, guys, we will actually write our function which will run when we hit the button. So which will be is async function get weather. Inside this function, we will need to initialize our API key. So my API key is present right here. I will simply copy this and paste it. You need to initialize your own API key, guys, and after that we will get the city input, the user input, city input. After that we will simply calculate the weather. We will get a reference to it. We have given an ID here, weather result. Here we will compare. We will city input dot value trim. So we'll delete all the white space from the city name. So we'll use this trim function of JavaScript, city input dot value dot trim. And here we will actually have a condition, if condition, that if the city name is null, if the user hasn't provided a city name, in that case we need to show a error message to the user that you should. So in this case it is saying that if the city name is not equal to nothing, in the else block we need to show please enter city name. So if the city name is not empty, then in that case we will make a call to the API. So inside this we will make a fetch call to the OpenWeather API. So API dot OpenWeatherMap.org slash data dash 2.5 slash weather question mark q is equal to, and here we will put our city name. So whatever city name that we are getting, city, and then after that app ID is equal to the API key. That's all. This is the API call to the URL, and then we will actually get our data here. We need to convert that response to JSON by using the JSON method. And now we will compare if data dot a value will be there COD. If it is equal to 404, in that case it is saying that the response will be city not found. So you have entered a wrong city. So in that case we will simply say a message to the screen that that city doesn't exist. City don't exist. We can basically console log the data here. If I try to, let me just inspect element, go to console, and if I try to enter an invalid city name, you will see that get weather is not defined. Okay, let me just wait. I have made a mistake here. It needs to have a catch block as well. So just do that, and now I think the error will not go. So you will basically see, guys, COD value is 404. In this case, the message comes out from the API that city don't found, city not found. So we are simply city don't exist. So you can see that. So we are simply writing this message. After that, if this value is not 404, in that case we will actually show the temperature of that city. So we will use the math module. We will round the value, and we will say data.main.temp And in order to convert this to Celsius, we will minus 273.1.15. So this value will be in temperature. And we will also write the description as well, short little description of the weather. Description. And now to print these details, weather result.inner HTML, we will use it, and backtick symbol to write multiple lines of JavaScript code. And we will have two paragraph tags. We will give it a class of font bold, and this will contain the actual temperature. And here we need to simply say the weather description as well. So description. So if you just write here basically the correct city name, let's suppose I write Chennai, click on get weather, you will basically say this will be coming here, the JSON response will be coming. So all sort of information is returned. If you want display cloud information coordinated, this is the temperature 299, it's in Kelvin. So I have country, you will see all that. In weather part, we basically got this mist description, all this wind speed, all that degree 40 speed. So if you want to also show this value, which is degree Celsius, I think. So just put a degree here, it's like this. So click on that, and now you will see temperature 10 degrees Celsius, weather mist. So in this case, guys, you can now see this is a cool little weather app we developed in browser in JavaScript and Tailwind UI using OpenWeatherMap API. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this video, and I will be seeing you in the next one.